Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. Outside of your yoga mat, we will, of course, use just 2 blocks for today's practice. But to start, before we get to the mats, I just wanted to acknowledge everything going on. Of course, how things can change from one month to the next. While we were celebrating Ramadan in April, we now have a humanitarian crisis going on in India. And so it's been a tough couple of weeks to process and very hard for some of us to see from afar. So as I mentioned in the message to each of you, what I thought we could do today is to practice dedicating our time on the mat to those folks in India. And again, it's up to you if you share it with them or with others that you know are in need. But when we cultivate, that positive energy on our mat, with the community and the world around us, we really do help to make this world a more peaceful, loving, and joy-filled place, just one of us at a time. And so I find that when I walk onto my mat with the dedication to someone outside of myself, my approach to the postures changes immensely. I tend to be a lot more present, knowing that these minutes are precious, not only to myself, but to others. I find that doing this to someone else brings me to a much more forgiving place to my body and my practice, maybe because we are sometimes more harder on ourselves. And then, there really is just this incredible journey in practicing postures for those who can't, maybe those who are unable to move right now. And so by doing this, we are really able to send healing, ease of pain, and compassion to those who need it. And in other words, we will practice selfless giving today. So for today's session, I would encourage you to think of a person or people that are going through something tough in life right now. They could be facing some sort of hardship, whether it's mental, physical, emotional. And let's really begin our practice by sending them positive thoughts of love and healing. So I'll just get to my mat. And we will start with just connecting with our breath, connecting with the universe, again with one chant of the mantra Om. So take a deep inhale, filling your belly. Connecting with your breath here, being present, thinking of the others that you're going to dedicate this to. And opening your eyes when you're ready. So we'll start with just some gentle circles here, whether you're sitting in Indian style or Japanese style, just to start getting our bodies warmed up. Again, making sure you're focusing on your breath. Deep inhale here. Maybe exhale on the way back. Inhales. Exhales. Just trying to get warm before we get into a series of sun salutations today. And then reverse the direction here. Sure you're thinking of that breath, thinking of those people you are giving this energy to. And then from here, just some kind of cat-cow, stretching out your spine. So take a deep inhale here, exhaling and contracting your spine. Inhale, forward. Exhale, contract. Take a few more of these at your own pace. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Again, just stretching out your spine here. And then just from here, we'll stretch out the side bodies. So bringing the right arm down next to you, left arm on top. You can bring your full elbow on the ground or just your palm. You can turn your gaze up towards the sky or the ceiling, sending an energy up and outwards. Looking down is maybe more inwards, whatever feels comfortable for you. Few deep breaths here. One last deep inhale. And back to center. Switching sides, left palm on the mat, bringing the right arm up and over. Stretching out the right side body. Again, the gaze can be neutral. The gaze can be down and inwards. Or our focus for today is up and outwards. To your immediate family, to your immediate friends, and then outwards even to those you don't know. Potentially those that are suffering right now. Focusing on that breath, deep inhales and exhales here. One last deep inhale and back to center. So here, let's bring the arms up behind you, interlock your fingers, and then just gently scratching that imaginary wall behind you with that back. Again, focusing on that breath. Bring the arms behind you, interlocking your fingers, pulling your shoulders back. And one more time, interlocking your fingers behind your head. So just pushing your chest outwards and exhale inwards. Inhale and exhale. A few more times, deep inhale and exhale. Two more times, deep inhale and exhale. One more time, deep inhale and exhale. From here, just to stretch out, let's bring the arms in front of you onto the mat, gently walking their fingertips out as much forward as you can. Try to feel that length in your arms, in your shoulders. Again, coming back to the breath. Thinking about those people you are doing this for today. And from here, a gentle walk of your arms over to the right side of your mat, feeling that stretch on the left side. Connecting with the breath. And then when you're ready, bringing them over to the left side of your mat, feeling the stretch on the right side. From here, let's come onto all fours into that tabletop position, the wrist directly underneath your shoulder blades, and just take some real cat-cow. So taking a deep inhale, dropping your belly, exhale, rounding your spine. Take a few more at your own pace. Deep inhale and exhale. 2 more here. Deep inhale and exhale. And last one here. Deep inhale and exhale. Dropping down into a child's pose, taking a deep stretch, walking the arms out as far as you can in front of you. Maybe giving you a gentle massage of your forehead on the mat. And then from here, coming through tabletop into our first downward facing dog of the evening. So coming into that inverted V shape, bringing the hips to the top corner of the back of your room, bringing those shoulders, blades backwards. And here you can slowly bend one knee at a time, feeling that full stretch throughout your hips, hamstrings, quads, like you're being pulled from the middle of your spine upwards. Connecting with the breath here, let's take 5 deep inhales and exhales here. And when you're ready, coming onto the balls of your feet, slowly, gently, one step at a time, walking forward into a forward fold. You can keep that slight bend of your knees. Bring your feet hips width apart a little bit more if you'd like. We're going to be coming down into a yogi squat or malasana from here. But just holding this forward fold. Again, really good winding down pose for the evening. And then like we did previously, so let's walk the arms out to the left side of your mat, feeling this stretch on your right side. Taking some deep breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Take 2 more deep breaths here. And then slowly walk the arms out to the right side of your mat here. In the forward fold. Again, feeling that stretch down the left side of your body. And then from here back to center. So what we want to do is now bring your hands, if you can, to your ankles. And again, if the yogi squat or malasana is too much, you can always stay in this forward fold, or you can stay in the malasana. We're going to do some conditioning here where we come back and forth between this forward fold and malasana. So gently, let's take a deep inhale and come down into your squat, holding on to your ankles. And on the exhale, release and come back to the forward fold. So trying to keep your core engaged, your stomach on your thighs the entire time. Again, deep inhale, coming down. And exhaling back up into the forward fold. And we'll take this just 2 more times. Deep inhale. And exhale. 1 more time, deep inhale. And for the exhale, let's actually stay here. We'll just do a twist here in Malasana. So bringing the right arm over to the left side and the left arm up, looking behind you. Again, very good for opening the hips. Few deep inhales and exhales here. When you're ready, back to center, we'll switch, bringing the left arm over to the right side, right arm up behind you. Again, a few deep inhales and exhales here. And then from here, bringing the palms together, Anjali Mudra, just taking a few deep breaths before we come back into that forward fold. So there's a concept I wanted to talk about today, which is metta. So metta really came from the Buddhist principles or philosophies that essentially means love or loving kindness. So when we talk about sending energy to those outside of ourselves, outside of our friends, and even to those strangers that are outside going through things that we don't know about, we want to be sending them love and compassion with no judgment. So this is really unconditional well-being that we want to wish for them. When you're ready here, bringing your palms back onto your ankles and slowly coming back up into that forward fold. Few deep breaths here. And then we can slowly bring your palms to your hips and then gently, 1 vertebra at a time, coming back up to center. So you should feel very stretched out here. And we will move on to our sun salutations. And as mentioned, so we're going to do a series of sun salutations today, each of them building upon the other. So we'll start very basic, just working from a crescent lunge, from there, taking the crescent lunge into a warrior 1 and warrior 2. From there, adding on after the warrior 1 and warrior 2, a reverse warrior or peaceful warrior. And then from there into extended side angle and to triangle poses. So if you can start by just coming to the front of your mat. Palms together, Anjali Mudra. Taking a deep inhale, arms up. All the way down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale and fold, coming into a plank. Take a pause and inhale. The exhale, coming down. up dog, all the way up into downward facing dog. So as mentioned, we'll just start with a basic crescent lunge here. So stepping forward with the right foot, finding that gaze. And then from here, bringing the left foot up, halfway lift and down, all the way up. And back to center. Doing the same on the left side. All the way down. Halfway lift and down. Left leg back. Right leg back. All the way back up. Downward facing dog. Again, from here now, bringing the left leg up into that lunge. Find your gaze here, and then step forward with that right foot. Halfway lift and down, all the way up and down. So from here, we'll again start with those same crescent lunges and then add in our warrior one and warrior two poses. Deep inhale, all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, down. Right leg back, leg back. Up cobra, up dog, downward facing dog. From here, right leg forward into that lunge. And then from here, coming up into warrior one. Feet on separate railroad tracks, coming into warrior two, one railroad track. Finding that gaze in front of you. And then from here, windmilling the arms down, finishing this pose so we can start it on the other side. Downward facing dog. And then from here, bend your knees and either walk or jump to the front. Halfway lift, down, all the way up. Same thing on the other side. Deep inhale, all the way up and down. Halfway lift, down, left leg back, right leg back. Pause and inhale. Cobra or up dog to downward facing dog. This time left leg forward into your lunge. Coming up, warrior one. Separate railroad tracks. Opening up, warrior two. Find that gaze. Surfing on the ocean. And then from here, windmilling the arms down and finishing this flow. Cobra or up dog. Back up, downward facing dog. Few deep breaths here. And then bend your knees and either walk or jump to the front of your mat. Halfway lift and down and all the way up. Again, we're building heat. We're sending energy to those around us, those in our communities, those outside of our communities. So let's keep going. From here, we'll continue with the crescent lunge, warrior one, warrior two, and let's add in peaceful warrior or reverse warrior after that. So again, inhale the arms up and down. Inhale, halfway lift and down. Right leg back, left leg back. Cobra or up dog. Back up, downward facing dog. Step forward with the right foot into your lunge. Coming up into warrior one. Opening up into warrior two and taking that reverse warrior here. Peaceful warrior, feeling that stretch all the way from that left heel to that left hip, the right shoulder blade out through those right fingertips. And from there, windmill down and finish this vinyasa so that we can take it on the other side. Halfway lift, down, and all the way up. Samastiti. And again on the left side, bringing the arms all the way up. Swan dive down. Halfway lift and down. Left leg back, right leg back into plank, 4 limbs or 8 limbs pose, cobra or up dog. Back up, downward facing dog. Stepping forward with the left foot into your low lunge. Coming up into warrior one. Opening up warrior two. And then again, peaceful warrior. Again, focusing on that breath. And windmilling all the way down, finishing this flow, left leg back into plank, 4 limbs or 8 limbs pose, cobra or up dog, back to downward facing dog. From here, bend your knees, look between your palms, and either walk or step forward. Halfway lift and down and all the way up. So from here, we'll take the same sequence of poses. After reverse warrior, we will go straight into extended side angle. So again, deep inhale, arms up. Exhaling, swan dive down. Inhale up and down. Right leg back, left leg back. 4 limbs or 8 limbs pose. Back up. Downward facing dog. From here, right leg forward, little lunge. Find that gaze. Coming up into warrior one. Opening up, warrior two. From here, peaceful warrior. And then from here, leaning forward, extended side angle. One more pose for all of those you are thinking about. Send them that power, send them that energy that they need right now. And from here, windmill down again. Finish this flow so we can take it on the left side. Deep inhale, pause, exhale down. Back up, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look between your palms. Step or walk halfway up and down, all the way up. Samastiti. And again on the left side, same thing where we're adding on the extended side angle here. Deep inhale, arms up, all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift and down, stepping back with the left foot, right foot, cobra or up dog. Back up, downward facing dog. Starting with the left foot here, left foot into a low lunge. Find that gaze. Bringing the right leg down, warrior one. Opening up, warrior two. Coming back, peaceful warrior. And then last one here, extended side angle. Finding that pause in the stillness for yourself, for the others. Deep inhales, deep exhales. And from here, windmill the arms down, left leg back into plank, 4 limbs or 8 limbs pose, cobra or up dog, and back to downward facing dog. Again, bend your knees, look between your palms, walk or jump to the front of the mat, coming to a halfway lift and down and all the way up. And let's take one more flow in this same sequence. Warrior 1, warrior 2, peaceful warrior, extended side angle, and from there we'll go into triangle and reverse triangle. So we can do this. Let's keep going, sending our energy, taking a deep inhale, bringing the arms up and all the way down, coming to a halfway lift and down, right leg back, left leg back into plank, 4 limbs or 8 limbs pose, cobra or up dog, back up, downward facing dog. Stepping forward with the right foot into a lunge, coming into warrior 1, opening up warrior 2, peaceful warrior, extended side angle, and then triangle pose. Let's pause here. If you need to use a block here, you can. Like you're being pulled from the sky to the earth, both directions. Taking care of yourself on one hand, taking care of others on the other side, both at the same time. Hopefully yourself first. From here, this is the triangle pose, just reversing those arms. Again, we can use a block here, bringing the left arm down and right arm up above you. Imagine you have 2 imaginary walls or mirrors on both sides of you. You're squished in between. So it should be shoulder on top of shoulder, arm on top of arm. Deep inhales and exhales here. And then from here, back to regular triangle pose. Deep inhales and exhales. And then from here, windmilling the arms down into that low lunge, bringing the right leg back into plank, finishing this vinyasa. Coming back up, downward facing dog. Take a few cycles of breath here just to relax. And then from here, bend your knees, look between your palms, walk or jump to the front of your mat, coming to a halfway lift and down and all the way up and down. So same thing on the other side, finishing our flow with the triangle, reverse triangle, and back to triangle as our last flow in this series. So again, deep inhale, arms up, slight back bend, exhaling all the way down, Inhaling to a halfway lift and down, stepping back with the left leg, the right leg. Pause and inhale, exhale, 4 limbs or 8 limbs pose, cobra or up dog, back to downward facing dog. So again, starting this sequence on the left side, bringing your left leg forward into that low lunge, coming up into warrior one, 2 separate railroad tracks, opening up warrior two. From here, coming into reverse warrior. From here into extended side angle, 1 straight line, the bottom of your right heel, all the way out to your fingertips. From this extended side angle, coming into triangle pose, bringing the left arm down, the right arm up. Again, being pulled between the sky and the earth, shoulder on top of shoulder, arm on top of arm. Deep inhales and exhales here. You can use the block if it helps. From here, take reverse triangle pose. So your leg should have been straight there. This helps me with the block here. If you need to, you can decrease the distance between your legs. Trying to keep your hips straight towards the front. And back to regular triangle pose. Connecting with your breath, connecting with the people you are dedicating this to, moving for them, moving for people who cannot get into the postures right now, people who need that compassion, that power. From here, windmill your arms down, back into that low lunge, left leg back into plank. Pause and inhale, 4 limbs and 8 limbs pose, cobra or up dog. Back up, downward facing dog. Again, relaxing here, few cycles of breath. If you need to, you can pedal out your feet, but this should feel very good after being here many times. And then from here, bend your knees, look between your palms, walk or jump to the front of your mat, coming to a halfway lift and down, and then all the way back up, and palms back to heart center, Samasthiti. Arms to your sides. Again, finding that stillness, finding your breath. That was the last of our series of sun salutations. And we'll just take one more flow that'll have some more asanas built in to really stretch out our legs, our hips. So when you're ready, bringing the arms back up, deep inhale. Exhale, swan dive all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift and down. From here, right leg back, left leg back. Pause and inhale. 4 limbs or 8 limbs pose. Cobra or up dog. Back up, downward facing dog. So from here, let's start with the right leg. Inhaling your right leg up behind you, 3-leg down dog. Opening up that right hip And then taking some circles of your right ankle. This should feel very good, not only on your ankle, but the opening of the hip. Let's draw some circles with your knees here. Again, making sure you're breathing. And then from here, bringing the right leg forward into that same crescent lunge position. And then from here, let's go into our lizard pose. So bringing both of your arms to the left side of your right foot. And then here, listen to your body, see what it needs right now. So you can stay here on your palms. You can come down onto your elbows. You can see that this is definitely stretching out your hips, those quads and hamstrings. If it's too much, you can always bring that left knee to the ground. If you don't need the blocks, you can remove them if you're able to come all the way down to your mat. Another full option is if you can come all the way down, bringing your forehead forward. So whatever is right for you, listen to your body. Always connecting with the breath. So from here, we're going to come into this half pigeon pose. So bringing the right arm outside of the right leg, and then gently walking this right foot to the left corner of the mat. And again, into this half pigeon pose. So taking the arms out in front of you. Again, if this is comfortable, you can stay here. Let's take a deep inhale, bringing the shoulders back. And then on the exhale is when you want to fold. So if you can come forward, if that feels good. You can bring your forehead all the way down to the mat if that's comfortable. Just thinking about the connection and energy that you're passing over to the people that need it right now. Once you take care of yourself, you have that energy to take care of others. And if you practice that mindset without judgment, to be kind and loving to all, not only do you feel a much happier person, but that energy gets transformed and transferred to those around you. So just relaxing. And when you're ready, coming back up into that slowly, to this half pigeon pose. And then we'll gently come back into our downward facing dog from here. Of course, what we do on one side, we'll do on the other side. So from here, just bend your knees, look between your palms, and walk or step forward, coming to a halfway lift, and down, and then all the way up. Palms back to heart center, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Taking a deep inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale to a halfway lift and down. Stepping back with the left foot, the right foot in plank. Pause, inhale. Exhale, 4 limbs or 8 limbs pose, cobra or up dog. Back up to downward facing dog. And connecting with that breath here. Imagining that inverted V. And when you're ready, take a deep inhale and bring that left leg high behind you, trying to keep the hips squared towards the mat. Open up that left hip, taking some circles in both directions with your ankle. Make sure to reverse directions. From here, you can take some circles with your knee, your left knee. Draw those circles, again, in both directions. Should feel very good to open up your hips. A lot of us, I don't know about you, but I'm always sitting all day. And everything piles up. All that stress and tension piles up right in the hips. And then from here, bringing that left leg forward into that same low lunge like we did on the other side. And from here, if you want a block, you can, but again, coming into that lizard pose. So both arms over to the right side of your left leg. You can again stay on your palms, come to your elbows, or coming all the way down to the floor. Again, you can bring the right knee down on the mat for a more relaxing pose, or if you really want to stretch yourself, keep that right knee off the ground, stretch that leg, and breathe into it. Deep inhales and exhales. And then from here, like we did on the other side, coming back up onto your palms, gently shimmy this left leg over to the right side of your mat. So we can come into that half pigeon. Again, whatever is comfortable for you here. If you can stretch this front calf out parallel to your mat, that's great. If it ends up bending, maybe that's what's right for you. So just taking a deep inhale, coming upwards. And on your exhale, you can walk your palms out in front of you. And again, stay there if you want, or if you feel comfortable, you can fold, coming all the way down to the floor. I remember there was a meeting I had a couple weeks ago. It was a big kind of speaking engagement, and a couple of friends knew that I had that. I was really nervous. And a couple of minutes right before that presentation, I got a text message that said, "Hey, I'm thinking about you. You're going to be great. Good luck." How do you think that made me feel right when I went into that presentation? Just a few words of loving and kindness can go such a long way. So similar to what we need off the mat, we can cultivate that same energy, loving kindness on the mat. I'm just thinking about how the mat is a microcosm of our overall reality. What we do here, we want to do there. When you're ready, gently coming back up onto your palms. And then slowly bringing that left leg back up behind you, back into downward facing dog. Taking a few deep breaths here if you want to pedal out your feet. And then from here, bend your knees, look between your palms, jump or walk to the front of your mat, coming to a halfway lift, and fold all the way back up. Slight back bend, and back to heart center. Samasthiti. Shoulders relaxed. You can bring your palms down to your sides. And from here, we'll just come into some floor poses. So if you want to come down, just bringing your feet in front of you. Let's start with both feet together, bringing the arms up, deep inhale. And on the exhale, let's fold forward as much as you can. You can grab onto your ankles if it's comfortable. Grab onto the bottoms of your feet, or even to the top of your feet. If you're able to grab on and kind of bring the toes to the wrists, you can give yourself a massage. It's very rare we get these feet massages, so you can do that for yourself. Taking deep inhales and exhales here. And here, because we are trying to stretch ourselves, send that energy to others today. Let's try to push ourselves. Take a deep inhale, extending that spine, and on your exhale, try to come 1 inch closer. Each exhale, you come down, trying to bring that forehead to your knees. So again, inhaling and lengthening that spine, and exhale, bringing it forward. When you're ready, let's try one leg at a time here. So just bringing the right leg out to the side, bringing the left leg in. We'll take this head to knee pose, similar to what we just did, inhaling the arms up. Your hips should be squared towards that right leg. On the exhale, coming forward. Both feet together should have prepared us to come closer to our knee here, and to our ankle, to our toes, whatever's comfortable for you. While you're here, taking these deep inhales and exhales, if the goal is really to give that compassion and kindness to all of those around you, try to exhale all of the self-doubt, all of the bad energy you have. Try to inhale only those positive feelings that you want to give to everyone else. So from here, as we come forward, let's take an opposite stretch here. So bringing the left arm behind you, right arm up, reaching to the back corner of your room, pushing your hips forward. Here you can point and flex your front toe. Again, making that heart stay open and upwards. Taking one last final deep inhale here. Exhaling, coming back to neutral. And let's switch sides. So bringing the right leg in and the left leg out. Again, bringing your hips squared towards that left leg. Bringing the arms up, deep inhale. And on the exhale, folding forward, wherever is comfortable again for you. Trying to bring that forehead to the left knee. Focusing on your breath. Inhaling all that positive energy and good vibes, loving kindness. Exhaling any sort of self-doubt or negativity. Taking that all away, as our goal is to send positive energy and power to those around us and to those who need it. And then from here, to make sure we stay open, let's bring the right arm back, lifting the left arm up, pushing those hips forward. Again, if you want to point and flex that left toe here, the gaze can be upwards. Counteracting that last head to knee pose. From here, one last deep inhale and large stretch. And on the exhale, back to neutral. Coming into a mermaid pose from here. So what we want to do is bringing both of your knees stacked on top of each other, along with the left foot on top of the right foot. And since the knees are pointing over to the right side, we're going to take the right arm and put it on top of that left knee. And we're going to twist here. So you can take the left arm behind you. Feel this wonderful stretch and twist here, counteracting the poses we just did. If it's comfortable for you, you can take the left arm behind you and bring it around to your right hip. But again, feeling this great openness in the twist. Again, connecting to your breath. So your legs here should be operating as one unit, knee on top of knee, foot on top of foot. You can always inhale and lengthen that spine. Exhale and find that deeper twist. Slowly releasing this pose and just bringing the knees now over to the left side. Again, knee should be on top of the knee, the right foot on top of the left foot. The knees are pointing to the left side, so we're going to bring the left arm up, bring it on top of that right knee. And then from here, we're twisting over to the right side. So bringing the right arm behind you. If it's comfortable, you can bring the right arm to that left hip to deepen that twist. But think about inhaling and lengthening that spine, exhaling and twisting, looking more to the right. This is again mermaid pose called Vajrayasana. And then from here, let's come back to neutral, actually coming into a child's pose to stretch out the spine, arms out in front of you, walking your fingertips as far forward as you can. Perhaps giving yourself a gentle massage of the forehead. And again, connecting with that breath. And from here, we want to thread the needle next. So if you can just inhale your right arm up, looking towards it. On the exhale, thread it underneath that left arm, trying to bring that right cheek onto the mat. And then if this is comfortable, you can stay here. Or if you want to bring this left arm that's in front of you, bring it behind your right hip to really open up that chest again, opening up that heart. Just focusing on the breath, deep inhales and exhales here. And then from here, slowly coming back into that child's pose. So we can take the same, thread the needle on the other side. So inhale the left arm up to the side of you. On the exhale, thread it underneath that right arm, trying to bring that left cheek onto the mat. And then again, staying here if it's comfortable, or if you can, bringing that right arm behind you to that left hip or the left thigh. Again, opening up that heart and chest, having it open so that you can give love to those around you and those who need it. Focusing on your breath. When we do yoga here, we all know that yoga means to unite or to yoke. So it's our mind, body, and spirit that have to come together so that we can give our energy to those who need it. It's our mind that wants to give. It's our body that's giving. And it's those connections and spirits that will really bring up those around us. And then from here, coming back into that child's pose. Both arms out to the front. We'll take one last walk of the arms over to the right side again. Feeling that stretch on the left side body. And then one last walk over to the left side. And then coming back up to the neutral position here. We'll do one last sitting pose before we come all the way down onto our back. So we did our legs in front of us. Let's now come into this straddle position. You don't have to push yourself, but again, as comfortable. Let's take a deep inhale here and coming all the way forward as much as you can, walking your palms out, fingertips out in front of you, reaching as far forward as possible and just holding it. This should really open your chest, open your groin area, releasing tension. Breathing into it. Deep inhales, coming more forward on those exhales. One last deep inhale, stretching as far as you can. And on your exhale, coming back up to the neutral spine. We'll just take a couple twists here. So bringing the right arm out to the outside of your left knee, left arm back. This should feel really good. Another spinal twist. Really helps to open ourselves up, open up the bodies, again, to be able to give to others. One last deep inhale. Exhaling, coming back to center. And switching sides here. Left arm to the outside of the right knee, right arm behind you. Again, you can inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhaling and twisting to the back of the room. One last deep inhale. And on the exhale, back to center. So let's come just onto our backs. I'm going to come to the side. Let's bring your knees in together. Give yourself a gentle hug and rock from side to side. This should feel very good. Maybe taking some circles with those hips and those knees in both directions. And make sure to reverse the directions. From here, grabbing onto your big toes, coming up into happy baby pose. Again, gentle rock from side to side here. You always see babies come into this position when they're young. There's a reason for it. It really does make you happy, feels good, gives such a massage on your back. From here, just bringing both arms out to the sides, Maybe stacking your knees over to the right side and looking to the left. Again, another twist, opening up our hips. Breathing into it, deep inhales and exhales out through the nose. What we do on the right, we do on the left. So bringing both knees over to the left side, stacking them, looking over to your right, keeping that right shoulder blade on the ground. Again, deep inhales and exhales here. From here, coming back up to this central neutral position, taking some windshield wipers. So bringing the right sole of the foot to the left knee and alternating sides. Focusing on the breath, but the sole of one foot always to the knee or thigh of the other. And then from here, bringing both legs out to the front of you. And then bringing both feet in close to your glutes here. And we'll just take a supported bridge pose. So bringing the arms next to you. On your inhale, bringing your hips high. You can roll your shoulders inwards. You can grab onto your heels if it's comfortable for you. And then exhale, coming down to the mat. So we'll do this just a few times here, taking a deep inhale, bringing the hips high to your sky, and release down to the mat. Engage your core here. Again, deep inhale, and exhale. And one more time, deep inhale, and exhale. So let's bring the right ankle over onto your left thigh here, grabbing on to behind your left thigh here, just bringing it closer to you. This should feel really good on your lower spine, on your hips, to really stretch us out from all the hard work you did. You can flex and point your toe here. You can take some circles with your ankles again. And when you're ready, let's switch sides, bringing the right leg down, the left leg into this figure four. And again, bringing the arms behind that right thigh, bringing that right thigh towards you, stretching out that hamstring, quad, hips. You can take some circles with that right ankle. You can point and flex it here. Whatever your body thinks it needs, give it. From here, you can release your legs back to neutral. And then we'll do just one final supported shoulder stance before we finish today. So just bringing your legs up together. Your knees can be slightly bent, but just holding them up. This is also good to do towards a wall at night. And just see if you can balance here. Taking this time to connect with your breath, your mind, your body, and your soul. Were you able to remember those you were dedicating your practice to? I'm sure they can feel it by now. Last few deep inhales and exhales here. And slowly bring the legs down, releasing your spine one vertebra at a time. See how slow you can go to get down to the ground. From here, just bringing your arms behind you, taking one last deep final inhale. Everything behind you, stretch out all your muscles. And on the exhale, let it all out with a deep sigh. Bringing the arms next to you, your feet towards the outside corners of the mat, heels in, toes out, palms facing up. And just relax. Take in everything we just did. Think about those people that are suffering or that you decided you want to dedicate this energy and time to. And sit with that, sit with them. from here. Just start with wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers. Trying to bring that life back to your body. And let's come into the fetal position onto the right side. Pausing here. A few deep breaths. And when you're ready, using one of your hands to bring you back up to sitting. Come back to this Indian style position. And I hope you really were able to dedicate your practice today. I truly believe that while doing this, for someone or multiple people has enhanced my ability to hold compassion for those around me in my everyday life. And so when I enter into this mindset, then I am way less quick to judge, more forgiving in certain actions, and then more full with overall love. I even notice that I can have a large impact on someone's day, my kids, my husband, simply by the way I hold and treat myself, positively and negatively. So with all of us together practicing a little bit more universal loving kindness, or with more metta, there would be a lot more healing in this world. And one quote that I wanted to leave you with today is from the Dalai Lama, which is, "Love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive." So I really want to thank you for practicing with me, dedicating to others, and again, closing this out with one chant of the mantra Om. Taking a deep inhale. The light within me honors the light within you. Thank you so much for practicing tonight. Namaste.